All right, I decided I'm going to make a video today showing my favorite top 20 Yes songs, just for fun. I made a community post just the other day listing those 20 songs and decided let's make a video because why not? Couple things. Well, I'll mention things as we go. I'm going to play a little bit of each of the songs just as a way of doing this, not just say what the songs are. I'd love to see what your list would be if you'd like to make a top 20 Yes songs list. I'd love to hear why you agree or disagree with my choices. These choices will change over time. This is not a static list. It's just my preferences as of right now. The top 10 has been more consistent. There's been more change in the bottom 10. What did I want to say? As I was looking at the list, though, I realized there was one song I had forgotten about. Decided I couldn't find a place to put it, so I'm just going to show it now. So this will be number 21 on my list. And if you like music reaction channels, you should go check out Just JP's reaction to this song. It's a really good reaction. I highly recommend it. Also, Yes fans, if you want music reaction channels that do a lot of Yes, Just JP and Jim Newstead do a lot of Yes. There are others. Nick and Lex have done quite a bit of Yes, but not as much as those two. There are others as well. But this is from, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to say. Most of the songs on my list come from what I consider their 6 best albums, their 3rd through their 8th album, starting with the Yes album, going through Going for the One. This is from their 2nd album, and I had not heard it in a long time either, and I wasn't like blown away by it the first time I heard it, but now I really, really like it a lot. So it's going to be 21 on my list for now. And I love John Anderson's voice here.
Look at the sad goodbyes. Every day's a killing time. Sun coming up outside.
That's Every Days, and John's voice just sounds so sultry and smooth. I just love it. The number 20 on the list actually comes, there's a few exceptions to the 6 albums. There are a few here from other albums. This number 20 comes from their 1st album with the ugly Yes logo. So glad they didn't stick with this Yes logo. But this song, I'm shocked that this isn't more popular. Or maybe it is and I just don't realize it. That is their Beatles cover of Every Little Thing, and I think it's better than the original, and I've never heard a Beatles cover that I thought was better than the original. If you have, let me know what it is in the comments. But this is similar to what they did with America by Simon and Garfunkel. That was a 3-minute song that they turned into 10. This is a song that's like 2.5 minutes, and they turned it into over 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And I just love what they did with it. I'm just surprised it wasn't more popular. All right, now we go to number 19. I'm going to just play a small part of it towards the second half of it. It's a long piece off of Tales from Topographic Oceans, and this section is the main reason this made my top 20. This is just incredible to me. Some of the videos I'll be using is by VZQK. Very cool YouTube channel. Did a lot of videos for Yes Music. You should check it out. But this is Ritual And I don't know exactly how to pronounce the rest of it. No Some du Soleil. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But Alan's drumming on this is incredible. It's just mind-blowing what he does. His performance on this album and Relayer and Going for the One was incredible. And Bruford is my favorite drummer. I think most Yes fans preferred Bruford, but you got to give Alan his props there. Ritual is a great piece of music. Next is number 18, and once again, we are on Tales from Topographic Oceans, and I don't know why this wasn't on the album. This part I'm about to play for you. If I remember right, this is not included in the album, and I don't know why. If I'm wrong about that, tell me, but I'm going from memory here. But this is the 2-minute atmospheric introduction to the revealing science of God, Dance of the Dawn. Some said it wouldn't fit on the album, but this video is 22 minutes and 22 seconds, and I know there's videos that are at least that long, if not longer. So I don't know why it wouldn't have fit, because why would you take this beautiful atmospheric introduction off the album? I don't know why you wouldn't include it. So that puzzled me, but this is such an amazing song. Most people consider this the best piece off of Topographic Oceans. I have one that I consider higher, which we'll get to. All right, so that's number 18. Now we're going to move on to number 17. This is from a later album, and let's just go right into it. You all know it, Machine Messiah. If you don't know it, this is a crazy piece of music. Turn that down a little bit. I was shocked when I heard this song, because I really think the Drama album is great. But that piece, my goodness, that's an incredible piece. And we can nitpick about this shouldn't be above the other two, whatever. This is where I've ranked them for now. Coming in on my list at number 16, this is from the Yes album, and I believe they opened with this often in the beginning. It was basically their way of introducing their new guitar player. Such a great song, and it really features Steve Howe, and I think that was the opening piece on that album. So Yours Is No Disgrace is just a great piece of music. Also from that album is number 15 on my list, and you all know this piece. There was no way this wasn't going to make my top 20. Maybe this should be a little higher, but it's really hard to rank these songs. And if you haven't seen this guy, VZQK, these videos are very neat. But Starship Trooper, phenomenal track. Andy and Alex had a really good reaction to this one. They've reacted to several Yes songs. We want them to do more, but they do a lot of stuff. They have a wide variety of music they listen to, so they'll eventually get to more, I'm sure, in time. All right, this one will probably surprise most of you. You probably wouldn't put this in your top 20. I think it's one of the most beautiful pieces they've ever written, and it's from their first album.
Praise the you when there are few people around, making me feel good. Wise than me when air is free, some I can see better than I.
Now, John says he didn't like their first album, and he said he sounded terrible on it. I don't know what he's listening to. I think he sounds great, and I'm waiting for Just JP to listen to this song. I keep telling him to do the first album. I'm sure he'll get to it soon. All right, number 13 is another beautiful piece of music with an interesting interesting backstory, but let me play it first. So that's Wondrous Stories coming in at number 13 on my list. The thing about this, there's a video with Rick Wakeman talking about when he had left the band and why he came back. And he said one of the reasons he came back was he got a call from John. I think it was a phone call. I could have this wrong. I might not be remembering it exactly right. And I think John played the song for him over the phone. And Rick said it was the most beautiful song he'd ever heard. And he said, this is what we should have been doing when they did Tales from Topographic Oceans, because Rick did not like that album. And that's one of the reasons he left. And this is one of the reasons he came back, Wondrous Stories. Now, this next piece, which is number 12 on my list, is two songs in one. They just flow together, and a lot of reactors only react to the second one, not the first one, and it always frustrates me. It's like, guys, this is part of the song. It all flows together. And let me just cut into some South Side of the Sky stuff, because why not? Oh, maybe not. We're going to go to commercial. Never mind. All right, we'll get off that. But South Side of the Sky is just a great song. It kicks. It's a lot of high energy. Brilliant song. Unfortunately, the YouTube's going to do commercials, so we're not going to play that many part of that. The next one is, you've all heard, at number 11, Roundabout. Now, some of you might be saying, how could you not put this in your top 10? This makes my top 5. This is their best song. What are you doing? You might be right. You might be right. I didn't even have this in my top 20 at first for a while because, and some of you will understand this, I grew up in the 70s. And when this album came out, the salespeople cut it in half, basically, to make it radio friendly. It was under 4 minutes long, and they played it all the time. So we only heard the radio friendly version of Roundabout, and it was good, but it's not as good as the 8-minute version. This song is over 8 minutes long, and it's phenomenal, but you don't know that because if you're only listening to the radio, you wouldn't know unless you went out and bought the album. And I didn't buy the album at first. I only heard it on the radio, and I got tired of it. I got tired of hearing it because it's not as good, the shortened version. But having heard it on YouTube a number of times, I realized, yeah, this is one of their perfect songs. There are two songs that I consider to be their perfect songs. Going for the One might be third. Going for the One did not make my top 20, but that might be another one that's close to, you could say, the perfect song. Okay, before we do number 10, I want to just real quickly tell you about something that I've done. I'll try to be brief. If you are a fan of Dungeons & Dragons or a fan of fantasy fiction, I've written 2 novels and I've narrated them on my channel. You don't have to buy my book. You can listen to it for free, and you can read it on my blog for free too. You don't have to buy the book. There's links in the description. The reason I'm bringing this up is I'm guessing a lot of Yes fans are fans of fantasy as well. How could you not be? Look at the art from Yes. And I think you would enjoy my story, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you want to give me some constructive criticism, feel free. I'm trying to get feedback. I've gotten some on my first book. The second book I've gotten much less because people haven't listened to it nearly as much as the first one. But obviously I think it's really good, and I hope you will check it out. If you go to my channel, there's a trailer video which will show you the illustrations of some of the characters in the story so that you'll actually see what they look like too. It was totally inspired by Dungeons and Dragons. And I do want to mention for you Ren fans out there, two of the chapters I use Ren's music as intro and outro music, and the chapter in between it was completely inspired by the lyrics to High Ren. Let's just say Ren had quite an effect on me. He's even one of the reasons I was able to finish writing my second book. I was very frustrated for a while there, but I'm very pleased with it, and I hope you will at least give it a listen and leave a comment telling me your thoughts on it. Positive or negative, it's perfectly fine. I'd just like to know. All right, the top 10. This one will surprise you. It's the other one from Tales of Topographic Oceans, and it is considered most people consider this the weakest of the four. I just love it. So that's The Ancient Giants Under the Sun. I understand the criticism of this piece. There are valid criticisms for it, but there's just something about it that really touches my soul. I can't fully explain it, but I went back and listened to all four pieces very carefully and tried to see if I'd change my opinion, and it's like, nope, I'm still, The Ancient is the best for me. I love all four pieces. The Remembering didn't make my top 20, but I think that's a great piece too. All right, number 9. This one might surprise you. Maybe Roundabout should be number 9, and this one should be number 11. I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. But God, this is a great piece. The thing I love about Perpetual Change is they are constantly changing what's going on in the music, which is amazing to me how they did that. And there is a point in the song where they play in two different time signatures at the same time. It's really, I probably should have clicked on that, but now if I try to, it'll probably have a commercial come up, so I won't bother. But you should, if you haven't listened to that whole thing, this says it's almost 9 minutes long. It's just a great piece. Also, there's a section where Steve Howe plays guitar in a very different style, and he's paying homage to Wes Montgomery, one of his inspirations. Go listen to Wes Montgomery. Hear how Wes played. He played with his thumb instead of a pick. And Steve really is paying tribute to him in this one section of it, which I thought was just great. All right, number 8. You've all heard this one. This one was... I believe replaced Yours Is No Disgrace as their opening for a while. They often opened with this, and it is considered the weakest of the 3 from the album, but I think it's great, though it is the lowest ranked for me too. I don't know how anybody can't love that music. That intro is just so good. But I can see, even I'm ranking it 3rd best of the album, but it's in my top 10. So that you all know what's coming in the top 10 pretty much. You all have a pretty good idea what's coming. All right, this is number 7. This, you need to hear the Union tour. Go listen to it on YouTube of this song. Watching 8 musicians perform this, Trevor Rabin and Steve Howe on guitar, this is unreal. Heart of the Sunrise. When I first listened to this piece, my mind was blown again. So just another incredible piece. That brings us to number 6. And again, I could easily flip these two and make this one number 7. But this piece, if you are familiar with the singer Annie Haslam, she performed this I believe, with Steve Howe. And I consider Annie Haslam to be the female version of John Anderson. If you've never heard her, go listen to the album Renaissance. Listen to Ashes Are Burning. Carpet of the Sun is a wonderful one. There's others. I'm trying to think of the other one that really stood out to me, but Ashes Are Burning is their most popular. But this is such an incredible piece of music.
Realizing the form of the stone.
Turn of the Century is just, when I first heard it, I was like, how come I've never heard this song before? I feel like it's like a hidden gem of theirs. It wasn't as well known, or am I wrong about that? I don't think it's ever been played on the radio, but again, I might be wrong about that too. I grew up in Chicago, so I don't remember it being played much. All right, this piece is one of Machine Messiah is a crazy piece of music. This one is the craziest piece of music I've ever heard by Yes. Oh my God. I am so glad that Rick Wakeman left the band so that we could have this album with Patrick Moraz. And I love Rick Wakeman. He's my second favorite keyboard player. My first is Keith Emerson of Emerson, Lake and Palmer. But Patrick Moraz, my goodness, he kick ass on this album. Sound Chaser is just incredible. And coming in at number 5 is, or I should say number 4. Sound Chaser was number 5. This is number 4, and it's also from Relayer. And wow, what do you say about this? Now, this video is almost 22 minutes long, so that fit on the album. So I don't know. Not sure about the Revealing Science of God thing, but if someone could let me know why it wasn't included. But this piece of music. This is a piece of music. This ain't no song. Every song is a piece of music, but not every piece of music is a song. This is a piece of music. Beethoven's Fifth, not a song. Close to the Edge, not a song. Gates of Delirium, not a song. Based on the novel War and Peace, I recommend you check out. He's not making music reaction videos anymore. His name is Daniel Profeta. Just look up his reaction to this. I thought it was really good. He was only like 17 maybe when he reacted to this. Very mature kid at the time. He's still doing. He has another YouTube channel now where he makes different kinds of videos because he wasn't making any money doing music reactions. You got to do copyright claims. But I highly recommend check out Daniel Profeta's reaction to this, and obviously Just JP too, and Jim Newstead. Those guys have reacted each of them have reacted to maybe 8 to 10 albums, every piece of music on it. They go through the whole thing, so it's really cool. All right, coming in at number 3 is the other song that I consider the perfect song, and it's very similar to Roundabout.
Okay.
That intro is just so amazing, and You and I is just the perfect piece of music. It's just an incredible, incredible piece. And if you don't like that one, you must not be a Yes fan. That said, I actually talked to a Yes fan once on Facebook who said he didn't consider Close to the Edge to be all that great. He said he wouldn't even put it in his top 10, that there was nothing original about it other than the bird sounds. I was shocked when I'm hearing that. And he loves Yes. He's a big Yes fan. I don't remember who he is. I was just chatting with him on Facebook. All right, number 2, probably the most beautiful piece they've ever written. Probably. I'm mean, if this doesn't take you to another place, it's so sublime. It's just it's transcendent. This music is incredible. Watch John Anderson perform this live with Todd Mobile. Go watch that video. Trust me, they do other Yes music too, but man, Todd Mobile did a phenomenal job with this. And also, ARW, Anderson, Rabin, and Wakeman did a great job with this. I was so impressed with Trevor Rabin because he's a phenomenal guitar player, but he's more of a traditional guitar player, and he's so different from Steve. But he really did amazing on this track. Go watch ARW perform that, and you all know what number one is. It's not everyone's number one, but everybody considers it one of a great piece of music. I consider this the greatest piece of music ever written, and I know that's a big statement when you've got Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart, and Rhapsody in Blue comes to mind, Moonlight Sonata. It's close, but close to the edge. Let me recommend something for all of you. If you've listened to Close to the Edge, or if you haven't, next time you listen to it, try this. Have the lights all off, and you're in darkness, so there's no light. Put on headphones, lie down, and close your eyes, and just listen to it. I had someone do. I told this to someone on in the YouTube comments. I believe it was on Andy and Alex's channel in one of the Yes reactions, and he said he actually felt something when he did that. And the reason I know about this is my friend did it. He said he listened to it like that. He said the first time he heard Close to the Edge, he was lying down and he had headphones on and he closed his eyes in the dark, and he said it was like a spiritual experience. So that's my top 20. I'd really love to see your top 20. Feel free to list them in the comments. Anything you want to say, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk Yes. I'd love to talk D&D with people. Another great fantasy novel for you fans of fantasy. If you have not read it, read The Chronicles of Amber by Roger Zelazny. I'm currently trying to narrate it on my channel. I'm up to like chapter 5 or 6. It's so good. It is my favorite fantasy series. They say there's other books that he wrote that are even better. I think there's one called This Immortal and Lord of Light that a friend of mine said those are even better than Amber. And I'm like, okay, but those are just single books, where this is 5 books. And then he wrote 5 more books, not as great as the first 5, but still really good. So that's what I also recommend that people go check out. And I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think, and maybe I'll do another top 10 or top 20 of another band. If you'd like that, feel free to put it in the comments. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.